Well, welcome to Norton High School. Today we got a boys JV baseball matchup between Norton Lancers and Dover-Sherborn. Starting lineup for Dover, we got the catcher John Clark. Pitcher is Ross Limpsky. Third baseman Chris Kiesling. Shortstop Grant Mayer. First baseman Evan Kinley. Center fielder is Chip Mastrovic. Left fielder Rowan Bahadur. Right fielder Jimmy Cashman, and second baseman is Nico. They got things underway here. The leadoff hitter, number 39, the catcher John Clark, goes down on strike. So one quick out. Next up is the pitcher Ross. And it looks like there's going to be a base hit up the middle. So Ross, the pitcher, number 11, with a base hit for Dover-Sherborn. That'll now bring up the third baseman. This is Chris. Ross takes a little bit of a lead over at first. And that one's ripped down left field line, but that's foul. So long foul ball. We got Thomas on the mound today for the Lancers. This one's popped up to right field. Sean Cleary under it. Makes the catch. And throws it into the cutoff, so 2 down. This will bring up shortstop Grant to the plate. Takes the ball a little high. That one hit to third baseman, picks it up, makes the throw over to first in time. So good inning there for the Norton Lancers. No runs scored by Dover-Sherborn. Norton coming to the plate. We'll be right back. So we're back now. This is the bottom of the first inning. Norton ready to come to the plate. We'll go through their lineup quickly. We got number 2, Quinn Murphy, the center fielder, leading things off. He's followed by number 15, right fielder Sean Cleary. Then at second base, number 9, Alec Rich. Number 24, shortstop Josh LaLiberty. Number 7, the pitcher Thomas Tharp. Number 13, third baseman Jake Seaver. Number 8, the catcher today, Aiden Gilbert. First baseman number 19, Matt Williams. Left fielder number 5, Owen Musto. And the extra hitter today, number 3, is Brady Bramwell. So we're about ready to get underway here in the bottom of the first inning. Leading things off for Norton will be Quinn Murphy. Coming off the top of the first, where there was only one base hit given up. So a quick inning there. So let's see if Norton can get something going early on in the game. On the mound for Dover-Sherborn is Ross Lipsky, and he was actually the one that got the single for them at the top of the first. The coaches for Norton, the head coach is John Castro, and the assistant coach is Tim White. So Quinn to lead things off. And the first pitch delivered is a strike. There's a ground ball over on the third base side. That's out of play. And that one's going to be fair. The catcher able to make the play. Throws down to first, and that's going to go down as an error. Good hustle by Murphy. He's going to get all the way to third. So an error on the catcher past the first baseman. Right fielder was not ready for the backup, and Quinn Murphy goes all the way to third on a ball that was literally about 2 feet in front of the home plate. Next up is Sean Cleary. And that one's foul over on the third base side. And there's a ground ball to second. Play over to first in time, but Cleary will pick up an RBI. Next up at the plate is second baseman today, Alec Rich. Takes the ball. And another ball a little high in the zone, so good eye there by Alec. Strike is called. So that'll bring us to a good hitters count, 2-1 now for Alec. Takes the ball, 3-1. So anything in the wheelhouse, he'll be going after it. And that shot's right back to the pitcher, runs it over a little bit, makes a toss over to first, in time for the out. So 2 down. And this will now bring up Josh, the shortstop, to the plate. Takes a ball inside. Actually hit his elbow. So hit by pitch. He'll head down to first base. And this will bring up the pitcher, Thomas Tharp, to the plate. Josh with a decent lead over at first. And he takes off. He's going to slide into second, and he is safe. So the throw was there. Shortstop unable to make the play. And Josh is safely at second in scoring position with 2 down here in the bottom of the first. There's a ball a little low. And there's a ground ball to short, misplayed. And Thomas will be safe at first. Next up with runners on the corners, this will bring third baseman Jake Seaver to the plate. Dover-Sherborn with a couple misplays here in the bottom of the first inning out on defense. Safely back into first. Seaver's lead a little bit closer to first. And he's going to take off. That one fouled off. So Seaver will head back to, Thomas will head back to first. Runner at first takes off, and they're going to concede that and let him go into second. They throw right back to the pitcher, so now Norton has runners on second and third with 2 down. Jake looking to pick him up. And goes after a low pitch in the dirt, so drop third, hustles down to first. And a run will also come in from third. There was no coverage really at the plate either, so if there was a play there, nobody really there. Next up is the catcher, Aiden Gilbert. So Seaver, good heads-up play on the strikeout, hustles down to first on the drop third, and he's going to take off to second. They have no intention of throwing down, so a stolen base. There's a ground ball snagged by the pitcher, and a little toss over to first base in time. Not before Norton able to pick up 2 runs in the bottom of the first. We'll be right back. So we're back now. This is the top of the second inning. Dover-Sherborn at the plate. Leading things off for them is first baseman Evan Kinney. Dribble it back to the pitcher, throw to first in time for the out. Next up is center fielder Chip. That one called a ball. Strike called there, so 1-1 count to Chip. And able to come back with another strike, so 1-2. That one in the dirt. So Thomas looking to go right after the second batter here in the lineup. And here's a ground ball to first. Able to snag that and step on the bag all by himself. So 2 down. That ball hit right to Matt Williams at first. Next up is number 22, the left fielder, Rohan. And he was hit by a pitch. This will now bring up the right fielder, Jimmy, to the plate. There's a ground ball that's going to get through the 5-6 hole for a base hit. This will now bring up the second baseman, Nico. And there's a wild pitch. Both runners look like they're going to advance. So Thomas needs to bear down here. Dover-Sherborn with runners on second and third here in the top of the second with 2 outs. Swing and a miss for a strike. Strike 3 is called, so he's going to go down looking. And no damage done there. Norton coming to the plate, up by 2 runs. We'll be right back. So we're in the bottom of the second inning underway. Matt Williams with a leadoff single in the stolen base, and Owen Musto, the left fielder, at the plate. And a big swing there, drop third. Looks like he was able to make the tag. And the runner at second way off the bag, and he gets picked off at second baseman. At second base, poor base running there by Norton. This will now bring Brady to the plate. Takes the ball high. So unfortunate there. Base running mistake by Norton. Ball a little outside. A big cut there by Brady. That one high in the zone. That one popped up over on the first base side. That's going to be behind the dugout. That'll be out of play. Brady will get another shot at it, so he's heading back into the batter's box for Norton. Here with 2 down in the bottom of the second. And there's a rip to left field. That's going to get down. A sliding attempt. Ball goes right past the left fielder. And on the errant throw, looks like they're going to send Brady all the way around. So Dover-Sherborn throwing the ball around. Brady gets all the way around the bases. So a couple throwing errors by Dover-Sherborn hurts them. Brady goes all the way around, scores a run for Norton. This will bring us back to the top of the order with Quinn Murphy coming to the plate. Takes the ball high. Strike there on Quinn. Quinn steps out of the box. Steps back in and ready to roll. The pitcher ready to deliver. And Quinn fouls that one off over on the third base side on the outside pitch. And there's a hard hit ball to second base. A tough hop up at the face of the second baseman. And good hustle down the line by Quinn. That will go down as a base hit. Tough hop there at second base. Sean Clary now at the plate. Quick throw over to first. Quinn dives back safely. And he takes off to second. That one's fouled off. So Quinn will head back. And coach is looking upset. Might have been a missed sign there at the plate by Clary. Again, the runner takes off and slides in safely. So that is one thing that the JV level, there's only one umpire. runners can take advantage and take that extra base. And Murphy takes off to third, gets the stolen base, but unfortunately, Sean Clary strikes out at the plate, so that will be the third out of the inning. Norton with the lead, 3-0 over Dover-Sherborn. We'll be right back. So we're back here in Norton. This is the top of the third inning. Dover-Sherborn at the plate. This is the top of their order. John Clark, and he fouled that one off over on the third base side on the first pitch. There's a hit right up the middle for a base hit. Next up is the pitcher, Ross. He had a single up the middle on his first at-bat. Norton looking to try to turn things in the infield. Runner takes off. And the throw down a second is a little bit late, slides in safely. Again, as I said earlier, they can get a little bit of a head start since there's only one umpire behind the plate, nobody out in the field, so the runners are taking off quickly. That's a ball inside. That one popped up on the left side. Shortstop calls it, makes the play. Next up is Chris, the third baseman. He flew out to right field his first at-bat. And there's a ground ball. Shortstop's going to pick it up, throw to first, in time for the out. So Dover-Sherborn runner advances over to third, but that's the second out of the inning. And this will bring up shortstop Grant to the plate. Grant grounded out to third, his last at-bat. So Dover-Sherborn for the first time with runner in scoring position over at third. Strike is called. And a big cut there. So Thomas looking to go right after him. This strike three is called, so Grant goes down looking. No damage done. Norton coming to the plate in the bottom of the third, up by 3. We'll be right back. So we're back now. This is the bottom of the third inning. Leading things off for the Norton Lancers, second baseman Alec Rich. Pop fly up in the middle of the infield. Second baseman going back, makes the catch. Next up at the plate is shortstop Josh. Takes a ball in the dirt. Another ball a little bit low, so 2-0 count to Josh. Strike is called. That one a little high in the zone, so 3-1 to Josh. I suspect if this is a good pitch, he'll go after it. Didn't pull the trigger there, right down the middle of the plate. So full count now. And that one's rope foul. So good at bat there by Josh. He'll pick up the walk. And this will now bring up the pitcher, Thomas, to the plate. Josh takes a lead over at first. Pitcher makes the throw. Josh able to dive back in. Strike there to Thomas. And the runner at first base gets picked off by the pitcher. Oh, nice play there for the third out of the inning. So after 3 complete, Norton 3, Dover-Sherborn 0. We'll be right back. We're back now. This is the top of the 4th inning. Leading off for Dover-Sherborn, the first baseman, Evan. That's a ball a little high in the zone. Again, a little bit high. Evans' first at bat, he grounded out to the pitcher. And that one a little tight, called the ball outside. A strike is called. So he goes down looking for the first out of the inning. Next up will be Chip. Chip grounded out to Matt at first base, his first at bat. swing and a miss there, so Thomas again looking to go right after the batters. Norton defense hasn't had a real lot of action today. So if you're just tuning in, all the games here in Norton that are broadcasted are on nortonmediacenter.org. Deb Carrero along with Jeff Carr today on the camera. That one a ball a little outside. I believe that brings us to a full count on the batter. And again, strike three, so the second batter in the row that goes down looking. Anywhere close, you got to be aggressive going after that pitch. Next up is going to be the left fielder, Rohan. That one fouled off behind the backstop. That one just missed. A 1-1 count now to Rohan. There's 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Nobody on. And that one foul. Strike three, so 3 batters in a row for Dover-Sherborn. Go down looking. That'll bring up Norton to the plate. We'll be right back. So here we are back. This is the bottom of the 4th inning, leading things off for Norton. Third baseman Jake Seaver at the plate. Takes the ball low. So Norton's sitting on a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the 4th. This one's fouled off over on the first base side, out of play. Norton looking to have a breakout inning. They've had able to pick up 2 runs in the first, 1 in the second. They've had a few base running mishaps that took them out of innings. So they're going to try to regroup here and get their leadoff hitter on base and try to make something happen. And there's a shot to left field in foul territory, and the left fielder able to make the play. So long hit ball over down the left field line, out of play. Caught in foul territory. That's the first out of the inning. And we'll bring up the catcher, Aiden, to the plate. There's a ground ball to third, right past the third baseman. He's going to take a turn at first. Big turn. I would have actually gone a little further, make him force the bad throw, but nonetheless, left fielder throws it into the cutoff. And Aiden gets a single off of that. Next up, first baseman Matt Williams. Throw over to first base. And runner takes off to second. A throw down, not in time. Safe into second base. Strike called on Matt. So Aiden over at second base with one down here in the bottom of the fourth. That one looks like it's over on the third base side. And third baseman able to go back and make the catch. So 2 down. This will bring up Owen Musto to the plate. There's a ground ball. The third picks it up, makes the play over to first in time for the third out of the inning. So Norton not able to push any across here in the bottom of the fourth. Still up 3-0. We'll be right back. So we're back now. This is the top of the fifth inning underway. Leading things off for Dover-Sherborn is a right fielder, Jimmy. Takes a ball in the dirt. So last inning, Dover-Sherborn had 3 batters in a row go down looking. Looking to try to get this leadoff hitter on. And there's a shot to second base. That's going to get passed and out into right field for the base hit. This will now bring up Nico to the plate. Bring us to a 1-1 count to Nico at the plate. Swing and a miss there by Nico. A 1-2 count. Thomas looking to go right after the batter. That one fouled off. Again, good hang going after the outside pitch and fouling that one off. Thomas once again looking to go right after Nico. This is the bottom of the order for Dover-Sherborn. That one a little high in the zone. And goes after that one, so strike 3. This will bring us back to the top of the order with the catcher, John, coming to the plate. There's a pop fly out to center field. Center fielder makes the catch, throws back to first, and not in time. A base runner at first base almost got doubled off from center field. So that's one thing as a base runner. As much as you got your base coaches there, you got to see things for yourself. Especially when the ball's hit to the outfield. You got plenty of time to take a look out there, see if it's going to be caught, and come back if need be. This one's popped up over on the first base side. That's going to be out of play. There's a rip to left field for the base hit. And they get it into the cutoff. So Dover-Sherborn with runners on first and second now with 2 down. This will bring up the third baseman, Chris, to the plate. Strike is called. And there's a ground ball to short. They're going to make the easy play over at second. And that'll be the third out of the inning. Dover-Sherborn not able to push any across. Norton coming back to the plate. We'll be right back. So here we are back at the bottom of the 5th inning. And the first batter, Brady, pops out to third baseman for the first out. So quickly goes after the first pitch and pops out to the third baseman. This will now bring us back to the top of the order with Quinn Murphy at the plate. There's a ground ball. The first baseman able to snag that by himself. Goes over and steps on the bag for the second out of the inning. So two quick outs. This will now bring Sean Cleary to the plate. There's a ground ball, shortstop, backhanders, makes a throw over to first. And a close call down at first base. He's called out. Once again, if there was another umpire out in the field, he would have been safe. Called out. Nonetheless, there's a third out of the inning. We'll be right back. So we're back now. This is the top of the 6th inning, leading things off for Dover-Sherborn. Shortstop Grant hits that one to short, makes the play over to first in time for the out. So quick out and good hustle by the catcher of Norton to hustle down first baseline. Next up is Evan, the first baseman for Dover-Sherborn. It's a ball high. And there's a strike right down the middle of the plate. And there's a shot. Shortstop picks it up, throws to first. In time for the second out. So 2 ground balls to short, 2 quick outs. Next up is the center fielder, Chip. Thomas looking to go right at him now. There's 2 down with nobody on. Strike 3, 1-2-3 inning. Norton coming to the plate, up by 3-0 here, in the going into the bottom of the 6th. We'll be right back. So here we are back in the bottom of the 6th inning, leading things off for Norton. Number 9, Alec Rich. And there's a ground ball to second base, fielded cleanly. Makes the play over to first for the first out of the inning. That'll now bring up shortstop Josh to the plate. Josh steps out of the box. Ball inside. And that one's going to get down out in front of the center fielder for a base hit. This will now bring up the pitcher, Thomas, to the plate. Strike is called there on Thomas. Josh takes off. And slides into second, but that was ball 4. Next up, Jake Seaver. for Norton, the third baseman. They now have runners on first and second with one down here in the bottom of the sixth. A big cut there at the plate by Jake. That one hit sky high over on the left side. Left fielder overruns it. Drops it in foul territory, so a new life there for Jake. Ball outside, so good eye there at the plate by Jake. Josh taking a pretty big lead there at second. He's hoping anything out to the outfield. He'll be going all the way around to score. That one hit again down the left field line, and that's going to be foul. So Jake Seaver with a new life there at the plate, long foul ball. Good lead at second there by Josh, and there's a shot right to the third baseman. He'll make a play over at second, so that'll be a fielder's choice. Josh moves over to third. And this will now put runners on the corners with 2 outs. And Aiden Gilbert at the plate. Runner takes off, no throw. Ball inside. Big swing there on a low pitch. That one tipped and fouled off. Now Aiden looking to try to drive it through the infield, pick up a couple runs here in the bottom of the sixth. Let's see if he can make that happen. Ball a little high in the zone. That one fouled off. So he's chased a couple pitches down real low. And that one's cranked out to center field. And good track there by the center fielder to track that one down, but the ball hit well by Aiden Gilbert. Norton unable to push any across here in the bottom of the sixth. Dover-Sherborn coming to the plate, down 3-0. We'll be right back. So here we are back at Norton High School. This is the top of the seventh inning. Dover-Sherborn against Norton Lancers, and Lancers with a 3-0 lead. Going into the top of the seventh. Leading things off is the left fielder, Rohan. This is the number 7 batter in the Dover-Sherborn lineup. And quickly, 2 strikes. That was ball a little bit low. That one hit down the left field line. And that'll be a base hit. Next up is the right fielder, Jimmy. So Norton looking to double things off if the ball's hit in the infield. A big swing and a miss there. Good pitch there by Thomas. A little heat on that one. Throw down to first by the catcher. Ball inside. And there's a ground ball to shortstop. That gets past and out to left field. So Dover-Sherborn now with runners on first and second. So now's the time for the Norton Lancers to dig deep here in defense and shut Dover-Sherborn right down. This is the bottom of their order. Nico at the plate. Ball inside. 1-1 count now to Nico. And that's going to be a wild pitch. Goes past the catcher. Runners advance. Swing and a miss for strike 2. So Thomas needs to go right after the batter here. There's nobody out with runners on second and third here in the top of the 7th. That one a little bit high. That one fouled off over on the first base side. Strike 3, so Thomas takes care of him, and there's a miscue back to the pitcher, so not the time to get a little bit lazy in the field here. You gotta make a good exchange. 1 down. This will bring us back to the top of the order. John at the plate. Last time he flew out to center field. Ground ball to third. That one gets by. One run's going to score. And good base running by John to go right into second. Well, the pitcher now at the plate, this is Ross. He has a couple hits on the day. Takes a ball high. Ball 2. So Thomas just needs to bear down here. Strike called. Scoots away from the catcher a little bit. Runner stays. That one hit to center field. And a nice play by the center fielder there. Looks like Dover-Sherborn coach talking to the runner on third, because he really should have taken a couple steps, gone back to get ready to tag, and just had no plans on doing that. Next up, this is third baseman Chris at the plate. So Norton with 2 outs. Dover-Sherborn with runners on second and third. The third baseman Chris at the plate. Strike is called. That ball in the dirt. Nice stop by Gilly behind the plate. That one a little high in the zone. So 2-1 count now to Chris. That one fouled off. Chased a low pitch. 2-2. That one popped up over on the first base side. He's got some room. And Matt able to make the catch for the third out. So Norton comes away with a win today, 3-1 over Dover-Sherborn. You can catch this and all the athletic events here in Norton on nortonmediacenter.org. This is Deb Carrero alongside Jeff Carr today. Thanks for joining us.